This is the BodPod.
Hey BodPod squad, I'm Rachel K. Grimm, the confidence coach behind Ditch the Click and your BodPod host. Every week from my cute Brooklyn apartment, I'm bringing you all of the confidence boosting conversations from some of your favorites and my favorites in the space. And today I have bra fitting queen who I know you are going to love. She is a bra fitter of over 17 years, has fit 66,000 pair of boobies ongoing. She is the manager of Bravissimo in Soho, which works with cups D and up, and has over 100 plus sizes. If you are not sure where your boobies fit, this is the episode for you. Mila, welcome to the podcast. I'm so happy you're here.
Hello, thank you. Oh my god, that intro, I'm like, wow.
Girl, I'm just here to pump you up. Wait, you're gonna uplift our boobies and I'm gonna just uplift you. I want to talk about the fact that you have fit what we said 66,000 plus pair of boobs. Like for 17 years, you've been doing this, almost 2 decades. Going back to like young Mila, what made her say yes for a career? I want to fit boobs. So like, where did that come from? What led you to this?
Okay, great question. I was just about to go to university. I was 18 and I lived in Brighton in the UK, and I stumbled across Bravissimo on the high street just shopping, and I went and got a bra fitting, and I was like, sorry, what? I'd had big boobs already for, I don't know, 6-7 years, and I'd been wearing double D bras, and I got fitted and my size completely changed and I felt so confident. I actually remember buying the bra that was on the front cover of their magazine and that was in their window display, and I was like, oh my god, I got the cute like animal print bright blue and fuchsia pink bra. And yeah, I still have that bra even though it doesn't fit me anymore, but I kept it. I'm like, I'm gonna frame that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went there, had a bra fitting, it changed my life. And I went to university not long after that, and I didn't know that there were Bravissimos in London, and I just happened to be walking past. I was looking for part-time jobs while I was at uni, and I saw that there was in West London, and that actually was the first ever store that they created, which is amazing. And I walked in and the girls were so friendly, and I was like, hi. I said I saw the sign in the window about jobs. They were like, yeah, give us your CV. And that was it. That was the start of what is nearly a 20-year career. And that is also where I met some of my friends for life, the girls that took my CV at the time.
That's wild. I love that you hit on the fact you were like, I got a fuchsia bra, a leopard print bra, a teal bra, because I think often women with bigger boobs, where you think you're a certain size, the options are always so limited. And you moved into this now opportunity of having like cool styles.
Choice.
Boobs?
Yeah.
Yes.
I felt like I could walk in and I was waiting for the girls there to be like, oh, you can pick from these bras over there in the corner that are dusty and grey. And they were like, yeah, just have a look around, see what styles you like, just grab any as an example and we'll try and fit you for those styles. And I was like, huh? So that was like revolutionary. And yeah, I walked away on a high for sure.
I love it. Like the fact that you said dusty gray, I'm pretty confident I used those exact same words when Leslie and I were talking prior to this episode, saying, I remember digging in the bottom drawer and it's dusty and I have 2 options. Yeah. And that's really what it feels like. And isn't true inclusivity having choice? And I know you and I have talked before about your past of feeling like you were not represented in terms of size and inclusivity and the impact that had on you and your confidence. Can we talk a little bit about that too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was because I saw some TikToks that really just gave me a bit of PTSD because they showed these girls' experiences, like a few curvy girls who were like out shopping with their friends, high school age, and they were in stores and their friends were like buying all the cute little outfits, and then they were in the jewelry section like buying a ring and a bracelet because that is all they could get. And I remember feeling that way, especially when it came to like lingerie plus like shoes as well, because I've got what some would say slightly bigger feet, but I am tall. I just think that was just like a reminder that, oh my gosh, yeah, so many people feel that way when it comes to bra shopping and like swimwear shopping. For that, so often you go into stores and it's like you have to buy the top and the bottom together, and if the ratio's off or it's just like extra small to extra large and you're like, what does that mean? So yeah, absolutely.
Having the options, the styles. I didn't even point out, I'm actually wearing a Bravissimo bra today. For everyone who is just listening on Spotify or Apple, go over to our YouTube channel. You can see the visuals for this episode. I'm wearing this. What is this called? Chartreuse? Is that right?
Yes. Chartreuse is the color name, but the name is Adele.
Beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
our queen, our other queen, our
I
other
know, right?
British queen. You're our British bra fitting queen, and Adele, obviously, hello. I had to wear it today because to what you said, when I went, first of all, my first fitting with you was online during COVID,
Yes.
which to me was wild because I was like, how the heck is this woman going to size me virtually? Because my experience, what the bra fitting or the bra industry has taught us is that it's a tape measure and that's how we find out our size. And you were like, no, we're going to do this online. And I said to you, my boobs feel down here and I want them to be up here. My bras arrived and we did like a check in, and I was like, no, they actually are up here. I've felt that ever since. I have taken my assistant, friends, like to have fittings, and they all say I leave feeling so much more confident. I truly feel uplifted. Like it really does
Amazing.
change someone's life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the concept of a tape measure is once you've used a tape measure, you're saying, oh, this is your size, and let's try bras in this specific size. But actually, through our experience, if you have, say, 3 customers and they're all exactly the same size via a tape measure, does not mean that they'll find the same sizes and styles comfortable. Doesn't mean that they will sit the same way on them because of different parts of their body framing how it fits. So much to consider. Different bras can feel a little bit different based on the fabrics, the color, the shape. So sometimes you have to tweak things a little bit. And I think it's really number one is comfort, right? At the end of the day, we wear bras for so long throughout the day. And if it's not comfortable, then it ain't right. So let's start with fitting by eye, and that's how we did your virtual fitting. So having a look at the bra you're currently wearing, see what we need to change, if anything, and deciding, okay, let's try a few different sizes. We bring things from the stock room, or we give you recommendations virtually, virtual fitting, and talk you through different styles, what size we think would work well in them. And then it's really just trial and error,
Yeah.
because different bras will fit a bit differently. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, we're going to do a little virtual fitting with Leslie later on in the episode. So again, if you're not watching, highly recommend, because it's informative and just like impressive too. I think one of the things that has stood out to me about you as well, you, Mila, but also the team at Bravissimo, when I go into your store, like I never feel pushed or judged. Or actually, my assistant said to me when I was taking her for her fitting, prior to taking her for her fitting, she was like, I've never had a fitting before. In fact, I remember going into a store and this woman was like chasing me around with a tape measure, trying to get me to have a
Oh
fitting.
my gosh.
And she's like, and it made me feel so uncomfortable. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. And I think that speaks to the experience of so many people. And the vibe inside, at the risk of sounding like a major millennial, the vibe, but really the vibe that I feel.
All about 5.
Yeah. All about the vibe. The vibe in Bravissimo really is like one of, as you said, options for everyone. Feels very like inclusive. It feels like I can wear whatever I want. You'll make it happen for me. And also feels like these women who, sure, they're fitting you, but it's like fitting with a friend. I don't know how you do it.
I'm so glad you feel that way. Yeah, absolutely. It's like we want people to feel a sense of belonging when they come to our stores and they see what's available, they get the advice that they want. I absolutely shout out to my team. I love them. Honesty and integrity in how they fit and how they speak with people. We want people to feel so comfortable and to feel like this is a friend giving them advice and not just, oh, this one's right and this one's wrong. It's really about what you feel comfortable in. Sometimes people might say, oh, actually, I want to go for the other size, and that's your prerogative. If you're more comfortable, that's absolutely fine. I think another huge part is just knowing that we will, if a bra isn't quite right or we don't think it's best suited, we'll be honest and say, do you know what, I think the other one was better because of XYZ. And we're not going to push you into like, oh yeah, these are all amazing, when sometimes that's not the case. It's reality. Not everything is going to suit everybody or fit the same way. So it's finding something that fits and feels good to you.
I want to touch on what you said about saying, oh, if this isn't for you, like, that's okay. Because I think, as I said about that experience my assistant told me about, like, it feels, you can feel pushed some places. And I think what you do a really great job of is, yes, making people feel truly a part of something, right? Like at the BodCon, community is so important to us because community makes you feel seen and heard and a part of something, and like you're not the only one. And you do a really great job of that, of creating this safe, confident space for women to come in and literally take their clothes off and show you their boobs so that they can find the right size, right? Like that, you create this great energy, this vibe, this communal space that makes someone feel comfortable to do something that would otherwise be awkward. I think something that you do too is, yes, you are for a D cup up, right? But for someone who maybe is a D and below, you might not have the options for them, right? You might not have the items to sell them, but you would still do a fitting for them or suggest a place for them to go. Not awkward, not excluded, but included, even if they can't find what they need with you.
We give people the choice if they want to take their top off and try the bras on in front of us. So if they want to wait outside, we're more than happy to do that. And then we'll check out with every bra. Yeah, absolutely. We get loads of people coming in who are A, B, and C, they think, because they end up sometimes being a different size, but we'd happily fit everybody from all sizes, all size ranges, and give advice. We've got a list that we can share with people of different places that do stock those sizes. Because also if somebody, for example, is like wearing a 28D or C or something, it's difficult to find that on Broadway or whatever, like in the main streets. So we've definitely got recommendations for places that do those sizes too.
I think that's what it's all about. Again, being a resource for people. A community is like all about that. A safe space is all about that. Hey, even if I can't give it to you, I know where you can go to get what you need. And I just think that speaks to, yes, the vibe of the brand, but like just your team. Obviously, I'm a big fan. How someone at home listening would know whether or not their bra fits. I think a lot of us, like, we know when it doesn't work. Like, we can tell my shoulders hurt, or I feel like I'm busting out of all the Incredible Hulk, like busting out of my bra. But like, any tips that you have for someone where it's like, hey, maybe you should either come to us or go somewhere and get a fitting, figure out what size you actually are.
Yeah, absolutely. We should call this tips and myths. So I'd call it the 3-step check, essentially. So we want to look at the band size first to make sure it's laying really nice and flat against your back. So that's the strap at the back of the bra. If you have had the bra a little while and it's loosened out a bit, just tighten the hooks, because ideally you always want to wear it on the loosest hooks at the back with the hook and eyes. And if it starts riding up, even after you've firmed it up, we know it's probably a little bit too loose and we might want to go down a little bit in the band size and see how that feels in comparison. The back of the bra or the circumference of the bra should always feel like it's hugging you, because when you've got bigger boobs, if the bra just sits on you, it's not going to lift, it's not going to support. So we do want to feel like we're being hugged in a good way. And then if it is an underwire bra, we want to make sure that the wires are laying flat against your rib cage, no bulging, no gaping anywhere, and that the center wires are laying flat against you and separating. You can still get cleavage with bras that do that. Don't be worried. Essentially, we want it to lay nice and flat and separate. That also solves the problem with boob sweat quite often as well. No uniboob vibes. And then we want to have a look at the cups and just make sure you're all encased in the cup. So sometimes you've got stretch lace styles that have a bit of grip to them. Sometimes there's woven styles that literally don't have any stretch, and then you've got more padded cups, molded cups, and so forth. So whatever style bra it is, we want to make sure you're filling out the cup but that you're not spilling out the cup. See what I did there?
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that you're also not having excess fabric so that it wrinkles too much that when you wear your clothes it's going to show, or that your boobs are going to be swimming in the bra. So yeah, those are the kind of the 3 things. And then a couple of tweaks like doing up the straps to make sure you've got about an inch when you raise it off your shoulder. But that's the kind of the key things we're going to be looking at, especially with Leslie.
I can't wait to get Leslie's. But for someone, again, who's listening, maybe they're curious, okay, I am figuring out that I do need a new size, right? I got my fitting and now I know my size. What are your like maybe top 3 bra styles that you need or that you would recommend? Like almost as a capsule bra wardrobe. What would that look like for someone?
Yeah, I think it's open, it's subjective. So I think an everyday bra is just a classic, or a few, just so you can alternate wearing them when one's got to go for the wash and so forth. So everyday bras that fit under your clothes. Some people prefer smooth bras that sit really smoothly under certain tops and t-shirts, and some people don't mind a bit of lace. So either or can be an everyday bra. I love a lacy bra personally, but something that you can just chuck on and go and not have to think twice about it. And then sometimes a strapless, if you've got things in summer or even during party season, during the holiday season. Yeah, anything you can wear with halter necks, strapless, one-sided tops or dresses, that kind of thing. And then I definitely say either a non-wired or a sports bra, depending on whether you work from home and you want to give the wires a bit of a rest and wear something that's wire free. We do lots of different bralettes and things like that. Or if you're working out and things, and lots of customers I've seen come through the doors wearing 2 sports bras at once to hold them down. You only really need one that's going to do all the job, all the jobs too. So yeah, we do great sports bras up to an L cup as well, that are really going to support and hold you depending on what type of activity you're doing.
That's a great like little capsule bra situation. You hit on the wire-free bras or a bralette. Like sometimes we don't want to have wire, or we don't want to wear a bra. Speaking of tits and myths, I feel like there are a lot of myths out there about not wearing a bra, right? If you don't wear a bra, maybe you experience some sagging, or I should sleep in a bra. Actually, I remember being in high school and going to a sleepover, and there were a group of girls who were all like, oh no, you have to wear your bra when you sleep. Like my mom told me you have to, otherwise your boobs will sag. And that stuck with me for a long time. So I was like, I don't wear that to sleep. So can we dive into some of those things a little bit?
I think a lot of it is personal choice in terms of like comfort sometimes when people are sleeping, because obviously if you have big boobs, you know, that whole thing of when you wear a tank top to bed and you wake up and in the morning one boob's out this way, the other one's the other way. So some people want to feel more held in, but not necessarily with wired bras. In fact, we actually created a sleep bra because our customers kept writing in and emailing in saying, we want a bra to sleep in, and we never even thought of it. We got the idea.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. And actually this bra is being used for much more than sleeping in. So loads of people wear it as their working from home bra, walking the dog bra, all these types of things, and even their everyday bra. But going back to what you were saying, I think it's personal choice. At the end of the day, if you're running in the Olympics and you're not wearing a sports bra, I'm sure that might eventually have some kind of effect.
Yes.
But day to day, I think it's just really about personal comfort and what feels right for you.
I think that's so important to talk about, because often as bigger chested women, or all women, we're just like told we have to wear a bra. It's so ingrained in us. And to hear from you, our bra queen, that yes, obviously it's important and it makes you feel supported and uplifted and confident and good, but also, hey, if you don't want to wear one, like that's okay too.
A lot of the women who I've seen tend to say, oh, sorry, my boobs are a bit saggy, and like kind of start apologizing for that. And I'm like, girl, I'm like, listen, when I take my bra off, it's swinging down here, okay? So don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. And I think everyone has this concept that everyone's boobs are perky except their own, but actually we're in the same boat. When you've got bigger boobs, they're getting their best life, and we should just embrace it. Like, it is what it is.
So the whole conversation around like eyebrows, how they're not twins, they're sisters, right? I feel like our boobs are the same way. Like we call them the twins, but really they're sisters. Like one boob is bigger than the other and they go different ways and they have minds of their own, and that's okay. That's normal. All of us with boobs, like we all experience that. Obviously I'm wearing Bravissimo, right? We already talked about this. I love it. And I wanted you to show everyone who's watching and everyone who's listening to, talking us through like a proper fitting bra, right? But then as we were getting ready, as we said, Leslie was like, I don't know if I'm in the right size bra or not. So I think rather than just reviewing what I'm wearing, we're going to have Leslie come on. Again, anyone who's not watching, highly recommend go to YouTube, watch this so that you can see actually what this bra fitting is, so that you know what it would be like for you to experience. And Leslie, I think you should pop in and Mila can do a quick little fitting for you.
Hello, Leslie. Hi.
Oh, I'm excited. This is so exciting. And I promise I'm not going to apologize for having saggy boobs because they're sexy.
Good. That's what I like to hear. Okay. First question is, what size are you wearing at the moment, if you recall?
It's like a bralette, so I don't think there's like a traditional size connected to it, but what I typically wear is a 42H.
Okay, cool. And then that's a USH, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So let's have a look at the bra you're wearing now and see what we might need to change, if that's okay. Wow, girl, I'm going to change your life. Okay.
I am in the background cheering. I'm sorry, I had to come in and just
He already knows. I'm gonna
stress and clapping. I'm like, yes, she is gonna change her life.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna take my
pop your top off and we'll have a look at this bralette. Okay. All right. So we'll start by looking at the band size at the back. So if you turn around.
Right.
Okay. No, that's all good. So how long have you had this bralette?
This is new. It's
New.
very
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. It's laying pretty flat across your back, so it's not necessarily riding up. Have you done the straps up at all, or are they towards the back?
The straps,
Yes.
are they loose?
Are they tightened up a little bit, or are they right?
Here, I loosened them up a little bit. Hold on. My hair is connected to it. Let me just get my life.
Sure.
Okay, I think it's loosened all the way.
Okay. So I have a feeling if I was there and I fastened up the straps to be a little bit firmer, to give you a bit of a lift, I think the back of the band would start riding up for sure. Okay, and this is wire free anyway, so sometimes it can't stop your boobs from separating as much, but let's have a look at the front. Standing closer, if that's okay, just so I can get a bird's eye view. All right, cool. So it's definitely a little bit small in the cut because I can just see on the sides, especially on your left, I think it is, you're just coming out just a little bit. So we want to give you a little bit of extra coverage there so you feel held in and supported. Now, can you grab the straps from here, around here, and just give yourself a lift, just like that, lift up the bra. Okay, you see where that is now? That's how we want the bra to sit and hold you. So a little bit higher up, and to get that wire right under your boobs, just there. I'm going to suggest, do you mind coming closer again? Sorry. Okay, and just standing to the side, if that's okay, to get a gauge. 36 double H, UK size. And it could be a J as well. It could be between the two, depending on the styles and stuff like that. But I'm thinking we start with 36 double H. And maybe we come back to this, because when you come see me in the shop, we'll do a little comparison. So if the band is a bit loose, we're definitely not going to make it bigger. We're going to make it a little bit smaller, just to firm it up and give you a bit more hold, and hopefully still feel very comfortable. But yeah, you'll definitely notice the difference. Yeah.
Your smile says everything. When Mila told you to pull up your straps and said this is where we want your chest to, like, where we want your boobs to fall, your smile said everything.
I need my boobs to cooperate, and I need something that helps my boobs cooperate. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, 99% of the time I'm not wearing a regular bra. I'm wearing a bralette, or I'm just let them hang.
So we can try a bit of both and see what you feel good in. But yeah, it's going to change the way your clothes fit as well. It's going to change the boob sweat over New York summers for sure. And it's just going to feel extra comfortable. And probably like you've got less pressure on your shoulders, because it's going to take the edge off being in a firmer band size. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like my band is really thin. Like my band should be a lot wider. But like shopping at regular stores, it's not really sometimes accessible, or it's not something that is easily found unless I go to specific stores. But even then, they don't go past a H American size.
Yeah, which I think is a double F with us.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me a bra fitting, guys. That was so comforting and comfortable. So thank you. I know I wasn't expecting to do it, but I'm happy to actually know. And I'm excited to test it out. So
you're so welcome.
Mila, your fitting with Leslie made me think of a few things. First of all, I'd love to talk about the UK versus US sizing for someone who's listening, and maybe that's like another language to them. And also, you taught me about sister sizing, and I was trying to explain it to Leslie earlier. So can we talk about that too, just for those who are listening so they can learn as well?
Yeah, let's do it. So sister sizing is essentially finding a size that's going to look very similar, but just feel a little bit different. And that can be because, let's just say, for example, you're in a 32G, right? And it's feeling a little bit snug at some point, and you're thinking the cup fits great, but I just want to loosen the band a little bit. So you would go up in the band to a 34, but then you would go down in the cup to balance it out. So up in the band is 34, down in the cup is double F from 32G. So that's the sister size. So it's the equivalent size. So they're very similar and they should look the same, but they'll feel a little bit differently. And then you have the sister size the other way down. So if your band is feeling a little bit loose and the cup is still okay, then we're going to go for, instead of 32, we're going to go for 30, and we're going to go up in the cup. So every time you change one part of the size in one direction, you change the other part of the size in the opposite direction. So 30 double G. So for example, with myself, I wear 34 double H, and the sister size of that is 36, say it with me now, H.
Yes.
And then if it's a little bit too loose for me, then I'll wear a 32J, down a band and up a cup. So they're the sister sizes surrounding me and my size. The band just feels a little bit or firm. So then, okay, I'm just going to sister size it by going up in the band, down in the cup, or down in the band and up in the cup. But obviously, we are here to support. So anytime,
Literally support.
yeah, literally. We've got the stores, we've got the phones, we've got email, we've got live chat on our website, virtual fittings.
Go on the website or really anywhere, right? And see what that means in US sizing. And I'm pretty sure when I've done fittings with you in person, you've given me like a little sheet that like has my size on it and you've sent me home with it so that I always have that. Both if we have our top that has like US, UK, Canada, it has a different sizing. Is that someone can find that in the tag of their bra too? So
yes,
right.
absolutely.
Okay.
Most bras do detail like US, UK, typically France or European sizes, that kind of thing. So that will be in the tag. And then also it's in our tags as well in the store if you're wandering around and having a look. But on our website as well, when you hover over the UK sizes, it will tell you what the US equivalent is. So you'll be able to see.
That would even be a great tip for someone who maybe they know one of their sizes, but they don't know the other, and they can go on. When I came to the location in Soho for a fitting, you gave me like a little card that I left with that had all my info. Literally, speaking of things that need framed, I feel like that needs framed.
Yeah, laminated on the
Literally,
wall.
yeah.
Yeah, we hand out fit cards after you've had a fitting, or if you tried on and you'd like to keep your size, we can register you as well, and we'll store all your sizes so that if you ever want to check in on what style you had in the past and what size you wear, we can help you out. But in the fit cards, we'll write a list of the styles that we thought really worked for you, that you wanted us to log, and the sizes. And that's where you can see the variety that you might have your sister size written down, for example. In future, if you ever want to get that one, you know what size to get. So yeah, super helpful to have it like there and then. And so many of our customers just slip that into their purses. They're like, whoop, going in with my credit card.
Yes. The card between the website, coming in for a fitting or doing a virtual fitting. Truly, I think you're just such a resource when it comes to being uplifted, feeling confident, feeling like your best self, truly when it's underneath everything. Like you said to Leslie, you're like, I'm going to change your life.
A lot of the women say we just tweaking the size slightly and just seeing what works, what feels comfortable, because maybe they've changed in size. Sometimes it's due to pregnancy, like illness, all these different things that happen. And people just fluctuate often in life, like that's to be expected as well. We're not going to be the same bra size forever. So yeah, we definitely do have loads of life-changing fits. And then there's loads of fittings where people come in and they want to just check the size still fits, or it's digging a little bit. Oh, we've gone up a cup just to balance that out and make that feel more comfortable. And we know they're happy, even though we're not like jumping off the ceiling necessarily.
Is there a fitting that you remember that kind of stands out to you as one of your favorites? Or is that fair to say favorite? But just like one, you're like, wow, it really changed this person's life, or their response was just outstanding. Because as we said, I'm sure Leslie's smile alone was like, oh my gosh, you're changing her life. Is there someone like that?
Yeah, and I do, in complete honesty, have to say there's been lots of people like that, and I feel very fortunate to say that. I think the main time that situations really stick out to me is when we've changed the size, often quite drastically, and it wasn't expected. And sometimes I'm like, whoa, am I really going down 4 band sizes and like 6 cups with this person? And then I'm like, no, I believe this is going to be the good fit. And then we put it on and they're like, whoa. And it's really going to change how they feel. And so many beautiful women we've seen have cried and really had all the emotions in those fitting rooms in our store, especially from wearing something that has been really uncomfortable, that they've been told they were that size for the get-go for the last 10 years, and they've just been rebuying like this, I don't know, 38 double D and thinking, why doesn't it fit? Oh, this is all there is. I'm just going to get another one. And then I'm like, okay, I think you're a 32H.
Yeah.
It's something like that. And they end up feeling so much better because it just feels so much more confident. I think of it as sometimes, imagine walking around with shoes that do not fit you because they're too big or too small, and you're just trying to squash yourself into something, or you're floating around in there and the shoe keeps falling off. It's the same kind of principle, really. Finding something that fits, you just feel it straight away pretty much.
Yes.
When it does. And yeah, I've definitely shed a few tears with the women in our changing rooms as well. So yeah, lots of memorable times.
You said about being afraid yourself sometimes of, wow, that's a big jump in size. Am I right?
Yeah.
No, I do it because I know. Like, where do you find that confidence to be like, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have her try it, because you're doing it for you and sure your job, but like for someone else too. And I'm sure that confidence then impacts that person trying it on.
Absolutely. I think it's also from my own personal experience, because I jumped 3 band sizes when I first came to Bravissimo as well, and went up many cup sizes, and I was shocked, and I was like, there's no way. And so many times, like, I see customers talking through the same thing that happened to me, and I'm like flashing back to when I thought, no, there's no way. I thought maybe I'd be a couple too bigger, but I thought, wow. And I think that also feeds into kind of this myth is like D being the biggest, or double D being the biggest cup out there that there is as well. Through experience helping customers trying on and fitting them, I've seen time and time again, I should have gone with my gut and got that little slightly firmer size, and it's fitted really well. And I always try to bring out a sister size as well, because I want them to feel comfortable and find something that's really fitting really well.
You said you go with your gut, and isn't that confidence, right? Believing in yourself, that you're like, no, this is what I feel. I know that this is right. I'm going to do it. And so I have to end by asking you a question that I ask literally everyone who comes on the podcast. Mila, what does confidence mean to you?
Okay, you've literally stolen some of the words that I was going to say.
That's okay.
In a good way. Okay, I've got something pulled up that I'm just going to read in a sec. But I was really thinking about this, and I thought about how since I've moved to the US, my mum has been sending me pictures of me as like a kid, just, hey, I found this picture of you. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like zooming into my face, and I'm like, who is that? Who is this girl who's 8 or 9 in this picture? And now I'm 36. And I think maybe this is a millennial thing, but I'm like, where did the time go?
Yeah.
That was like 60 years ago. And then I'm like, no, it's 20 something years ago. But I look at this picture of myself and I just think, wow, this girl had no idea what her life was going to be like, all the situations I'd be facing, all the amazing experiences I'd have in life, and things that shape you ultimately. And I think if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to, unless you've got amazing mentors or something like that, but even they can't support you if you don't believe in yourself. And I think for a lot of things, a lot of experiences that I've had, even including like coming to New York and living here, I had to believe that I could do that. Otherwise, I think it would have been an emotional struggle to wrap my head around. And being here throughout the pandemic, living on my own, that kind of thing, had that independence, that solo living and so forth. So I had to believe that I could get through this, all these little things that kind of all added up to the bigger picture of your life. And then I really thought of some lyrics that kind of ring true to this. But the lyrics, as I'm sure everybody knows because it's been going around TikTok, but last but not least, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for believing in me. I want to thank me for doing all this hard work. I want to thank me for having no days off. I want to thank me for never quitting. I want to thank me for always being a giver and trying to give more than I receive. I want to thank me for trying to do the right thing more than wrong. I want to thank me for just being me at all times. You hit the nail on.
Iconic. So good. I'm so glad you brought that, because that is, I always say everyone comes with what confidence means to them in a different way, right? But ultimately, like, it all reflects back on like me. Like and that is the perfect way to sum it up. I want to thank me.
And it's like in a humble way. It's really just about, at the end of the day, like when I think about when I come home from a long day and I'm living my life and I'm like getting into bed and I'm like thinking about the things that I want to do. You have certain aspirations and dreams and things you want to achieve, be it how big or small, either or. You got to think, who's gonna set the wheels into motion for any of that? And I'm not saying everything's gonna come true and you're gonna get everything you want in life. Absolutely not. But that's all part of it. And that's believing hey, I tried and here we go. And this is where we are.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for literally giving us all of your bra and boobie knowledge, giving Leslie like a life-changing fitting experience. We definitely are going to have to check back on Leslie when she comes and tries on her size and everything, see her experience.
My store is in Soho, 433 West Broadway, New York, 10012. And yeah, you can find us online. We've got a live chat, as I said. We can do virtual fittings on the spot as well. And through phones, we've got a lovely customer services team that everyone can speak to too.
Amazing. And if we see you, we get to listen to your beautiful accent. So thank you so much for sharing just like your confidence, your knowledge with us today. Definitely, as Mila said, please be sure to get all of the resources there. And you know that we are always a resource too on Instagram at the BodCon, and also in our app, the BodCon, where we are having conversations like this with you every single day. Again, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe to this podcast so that you can hear us every week and we can come back with the best confidence boosting conversations. And like I said, there were so many, like more than normal, great visuals in this episode today. The Leslie's fitting, you have to see it. Like our laughter today, showing off my bra, like highly recommend it. Even the tips that Mila gave, like she gave very much visuals to it. So if you're unsure of, do I need a different fitting bra, highly recommend going to check us out on YouTube and subscribing to us there. Until next time, thank you all so much for listening today. Thank you for being here. You're awesome. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for joining us today on the BodPod. We release new episodes every week, and we're available on all podcast streaming platforms and now YouTube too. Subscribe to our channels to be the first to know. Want to talk all things body confidence, enter amazing giveaways, and hear updates about the BodCon 2023? Find us on Instagram at the BodCon. My name's Rachel K. Grimm, and I'll see you next week.